Now, the idea of directing it, could that be an act of anger against myself?
Sometimes making a movie is just making a movie.
I have to the wrong office come. Excuse, bitte.
My sources indicate that they were looking for evidence of collusion between the CIA and the German press in how the Vietnam War is reported here. Luckily for us both, they came up empty.
Well, you seem to have matters well in hand. Judging by the hue and cry, they won't remain at large very long.
I wish them to remain at large. These two, Larting and Schiller, a cadre of a splinter group calling itself the Morgan Road. It comes from the student left. Among other subversive activities, they were influential in assisting your troops to desert to Sweden. You see, if this were all, I would say arrest them and be damned. But there is a cancer growing in this nation. The same cancer that compelled a sitting American president to renounce his candidacy for re-election and came perilously close to toppling the French Republic. You see, it no longer remains in the campuses. It spills into the streets, into the offices and homes of some of our more respected citizenry. Bring these two to trial now, and you are gifting them with a public forum.
Tough job selling that to the Berlin police, Neundorf. One of their own is dead.
History has taught me that the interests of the BND and the police are rarely compatible, which is why I need your input. These two are minnows, and I am after shark. I am sure that you are aware that this is of mutual concern to both our governments. The future of NATO depends upon a healthy Germany.
I'll have my computer get in touch with you.
Do me a favor, BB. Stay out of the files. I haven't touched your files. Wish you hadn't said that.
What do you mean, rejects? Hey, but sometimes you disappoint. Look, if Nixon shaved twice a day, paper-trained his dog, and enrolled Pat in a self-help program, I guarantee even he couldn't lay his hands on one of these machines. Excuse me.
That is for God to say. Or perhaps your Colonel Day. Say auf Wiedersehen to Herr Fiedler, Wilhelm. You may not see him again.
You want me to spy on a friend? All right, so she's a lover. Look, I mean, Monica's radical, I guess, but she's not a terrorist. She's totally opposed to violence.
Then she has fallen into bad company. You will be acting in her best interests.
What, helping her by helping you? Am I supposed to buy that?
It often works with their parents, sometimes their lovers. It sugarcoats the pill for them.
Yeah, well, that's a hell of a pill. If I don't cooperate, I go to 11 with.
Or Vietnam. You will find there are few black market opportunities at the forward fire base.
Does Colonel Day know? My CO.
No one knows.
This is strictly our little arrangement. Well, Sergeant, what's it going to be?
He wants me to give him names and information and places you go. He wants me to spy on you.
My God. My love, you took such a risk in telling me.
I didn't have a choice. I'd lose you if I didn't. I probably lost you anyhow.
You'll never lose me.
I just don't see how he could read me so well. How he knew I'd cave. Well, now you know what a coward looks like.
I think not. I think I know what a man who loves me looks like.
Thanks. That helps, but it's still a no-win situation all around.
No, do not say that. We will figure it out. I promise. Come. Let us go home, eh?
Okay. Monica, if you just listen to me.
No, Abbott. You listen to me. But I don't understand. Is why you must be so difficult. That part of my life, Abbott, is none of your affair.
Look, I just think that when two people live together, they shouldn't keep secrets from each other.
Abbott, what you do not know will never compromise you. After all, do I ask you about the black market? Do I? Do I? Tell me. Oh, my darling. But let's not argue. I can think of so many nicer ways to while away the hours.
I can't believe you. You're never satisfied?
No. Oh, Abbott, when you touch me, I dissolve. I am helpless before the savage onrush of your raging passion. Oh, ja, ja, mein Liebchen, mein Herz, mein Schatz. Unchain the beast.
How are you, Mrs. Burke?
Nervous, but I'm rapidly discovering it goes with the territory.
I don't believe in dragging things out, Mrs. Burke.
Oh, it's okay. It's fine.
Your figures seem reasonable. The consensus in the industry is that you can do the job. So, I've decided to back your feature.
Okay.
There are two conditions. One, you provide the completion bond. I mean, this is your first attempt, and I do have to protect my investment.
That's fine. What's the other?
I wish the picture to be overseen by a producer of my choosing.
You don't think I'm qualified?
You're not qualified to produce and direct. I've gone over your shooting schedule. There's not an ounce of fat on it. You're going to have your hands full just bringing the picture in on time. I'm unmovable on this, Mrs. Burke.
All right, Mr. Lind. Now, who have you cast in the role of Simon Legree?
The gentleman on the couch, David Donnelly.
A pleasure to meet you, Mr. Donnelly.
Oh, I doubt that, but maybe in time you'll come to see me in a less, villainous light.
Sorry to be rushed, Mrs. Burke, but I am late for a meeting.
I'll have the completion bonds arranged this week.
Oh, by the way, there will be script changes, right?
Changes?
Yes, you know, the problem in the third act. And I'd appreciate it if you'd get the new pages to me as soon as possible.
So you can see whether you approve?
No, to see how they affect the schedule. Goodbye. Your car keys?
You come back here, young man. You're not 18 yet. And as long as you live under Mr. Kraler's roof, you'll conduct yourself with decency and respect. Do you hear me, Wesley? I'll not see you go the way of your father. You may think the sun rose and set on Tom Jordache, but I know better. God knows better. His death was a blessing. Are you listening, Wesley? A blessing. The world's a better place.
Wes, remember what you asked me to promise you at the airport? Well, you can forget it, shipmate. Danovic's body washed up at 1 Lapine 2 days ago, gift wrapped with baling wire. Word has it he was Charbonneau's snitch, and the Union Corps found out. Maybe it's all for the best, kid.
Both engines read all right.
Did the needles come up smooth?
No, they jumped about a bit before settling, but everything's getting so old.
I don't know. Could have some trouble, I just don't know.
Well, do we cancel the charter then? We need the money.
Well, between trusting me or trusting the gauges, we trust the gauges. We go.
Ahoy, mate!
We've spent their deposit anyway.
Sweet.
Welcome aboard the Clotilde, ladies and gentlemen. Lovely day. Bonjour, bonjour. Shall I show you to your quarters, ladies?
Hey, Jackie. Hey, let's forget about cruising along the coast in the regular traffic lanes, or even where the fish are. See, we got all the company we want, so you just take her out in the middle of nowhere and park. Need I say more? Huh?
No.
Boy. Hey, girl. Don't let all this shaking bother you. Go the dormere.
I wish you could do that.
Give me that.
D'accord. Alors, un petit peu de vin, ça va aider peut-être. Vous ne croyez pas? Baissez. Faut essayer un petit peu. C'est pas difficile. Alors, qu'est-ce que vous faites ici? Vous êtes là pour longtemps.
This is Clotilde. Mayday! Mayday! This is the Clotilde. Mayday! Mayday! Please, Mayday. This is the Clotilde. Mayday! Mayday! Come here!
Got your Mayday, Clotilde. What's your position?
Ça ira. Take a deep breath. Just a minute, okay?
welcome to a tow. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. Oh, that's nice. Your cat thanks you, too. Cat. That ain't no cat, that's a baby.
Regardez comme il est beau,
$6,000 for the lot.
It's yours. What about the china?
I'll give a look.
Oh, that's in the dining room armoire. That left an hour ago. Oh, right. The china's in the kitchen. My friend will show it to you. Follow me.
Moving?
Selling. Something I can do for you?
Oh, well, I just happen to be in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd drop in and see how things are, you know. I read the changes.
Good for you.
Well, obviously, this isn't the time to discuss them, so, what are you doing on the bond?
I have it, more or less. More than less.
What'd they give you?
If I'm 10% over the budget, they pull the plug and replace me.
10%? Oh, my. That doesn't give you much room to make any mistakes, does it? Yes, well, that's when I come in. And this is where I go out.
So?
What?
What do you think of the changes?
A definite improvement.
You like them?
Well, I think that's what a definite improvement means.
1,500 for the china. It was the best I could do. He liked them. Now, what do you suppose he meant by that?
Hey, Flyer, wait up.
Hiya. Hey, I have a friend who'd love to have a little chat with you.
No way, Sartine. The flotille doesn't run hash. Thanks a lot, Smiley. You know, I wondered why a fishing boat was always out where there's never been any fish. I should have known, boy, I should have known.
Why do you delude yourself? The insurance won't begin to cover half the damage.
Well, I like to delude myself. It makes the long nights warmer.
Well, spare me, huh? The fact is, you're in a bind, so am I. My fleet is experiencing difficulties with the Port Authority. Solution. You make a run for me, I repair your Clotilde, and I pay enough to meet your first note, which, unless I'm terribly misinformed, is surely to fall due.
Bunny, be sensible. Even if she was not in dry dock, the tourist season is almost gone. What do you do when the charters are finished?
Don't sweat it, Babble. You get your money. You get it.
How? You think Tom Jordache would have gone to a usurer if he had a choice? My friend Babble here is a businessman. I can assure you, unless he receives payment on time, he will not hesitate to take your boat.
Open me. Well, what did Renee say? How long does he figure for the repairs?
Not long. A week, maybe. I came to tell you I got a hotel room for you and the kid in town.
A hotel? Nonsense. You'll be my guests.
No, I couldn't do that.
But you must. Otherwise, my house sits empty. And the servants run amok. You see, I'll be in Paris for at least 10 days. By which time, if we don't get these into water, your lovely bouquet will have wilted.
Had a little bad luck last week. And a little good. Blew an engine and suffered some fire damage. Nothing serious. Clotilde will be up and around in no time. That's the bad news.
Hey, I've got a baby brother. Hey, man, far out.
You're not even dressed.
I just got out of the shower.
Well, that's no reason to flaunt your nakedness. Now, put some clothes on. I want you to go down and see Mr. Kraler. He's waiting for you.
What'd I do now?
Mr. Kraler found out today that his son Max was killed.
I'm sorry.
He should be. He was a fine young man. He would have been a good example for you. Lord knows you need one. When you're decent, I want you to march down and tell Mr. Kraler how sorry you
Kraler, if there's anything I can do.
He was a good boy, my Max. Decent, God-fearing. Quoted scriptures by the hour, chapter and verse. Reverend Loomis said he'd never seen the like.
I'm sure he was a swell person.
You. How would you know? A long-haired, atheistic fornicator who doesn't deserve to breathe the same air as a boy like my Max. Now you answer me. You tell me by what right you have to be standing here, alive and breathing. And my boy is coming back home in a box.
How are you going to shoot the scene in the truck yard?
Put the actors where they should be, have the cameraman photograph them, and hope nobody gets hit by a truck.
I mean truck. I mean trucks, don't you? You have a lot of trucks going this way, thank you. This way and that way. That's very expensive, you know. So I tell you what you're going to do. You're going to have one truck, and you're going to put it right out in the middle of the scene, right in the foreground, and you're going to play the scene around the truck, and you're going to lay in, when you're cutting the picture, the sound of the truck yard, the busy truck yard. And then, when people look at the scene, they're going to swear it's a busy truck yard. Right?
Why use a truck at all? Why not film the whole scene in close-up?
It cost $40 million to float Elizabeth Taylor down the Nile. Da Vinci knocked off the Mona Lisa for $16 and some change.
They say you're very good at what you do. Is it me?
Is it women? You dropped by rather late at night. You indeed find me working, but I somehow doubt that you'll make a bed check on Sam Peckinpah. What we've got here are precedents for both of us. I'm going to direct my first movie. You're going to make a first attempt at good manners.
Well, now, how about that?
How about what?
You have an ego. And that is the first thing a director has to have, is an ego.
Now I understand why you've never been married. No, this is not where we burst into laughter because we've checked each other out. I'm becoming a firm believer in self-defense.
Oh, I'll drink to that. To self-defense. Yes, indeed. Would you mind putting a little gin in that, please? I realize that my drinking habits are the stuff of legends in this town, but you'd be amazed how quickly it improves my disposition. You expecting someone?
Mm-mm.
You want me to go away? I just couldn't take it anymore. She kept telling me I was just like him. My own mother. As if it was a disease. Am I? Am I just like my father? Mean, crazy acting, no good to anyone, not even to himself. Is that all there was to him? All there is to me?
Oh, dear Wesley. You're very much like your father. Tom had enormous anger, as you do, and I. That anger came from our father. But Tom made it different in himself. My father frightened us, Wesley. I'm still frightened of him. But not Tom. Not my protector, my ally, my brother, Tom. He didn't know how to talk about how he felt, but you know it was dangerous in our family to show any kind of vulnerability. But Tom was wonderful. For what he did, and for what he was. The only love I could count on was from Tom.
Like he was with Kate. And Bunny and me. Oh, I want to go back to them. Back to the Clotilde.
And you shall. That's your father's legacy, Wesley. And a marvelous legacy. He gave you 10 months. And with any luck, you'll make a life of it. I don't mind admitting I envy you.
How could I forget? I've got a brother.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. I know one thing I'm going to do when I go back. I'm going to hug that kid a lot. You want to hear something weird? You're the first person who's hugged me since Bunny and Kate said goodbye. Sappy, I guess. But I bet people turn mean if they don't get hugged sometimes.
I wouldn't worry. You'll never lack for hugs, my boy. But you will for sleep if I don't trundle you off to bed. Now in the morning, we'll talk and sort out what's to be done with you. I know you're anxious to get back to France, but you know April's a long way off.
Sort out. You sound like Kate.
Well, I love you too, you see.
Billy's so lucky you're his mom.
We are to move again, I suppose.
Yes. This time to France in safety. The money will be here tomorrow night.
Berlin.
What do you mean, Berlin? You know you're under surveillance. It's got something to do with that policeman that was killed, doesn't it?
Albert, do not ask questions. Entschuldigen Sie bitte.
No, of course not. I'll just keep my eye out on the obituary file. Would you wait a minute?
Albert, if you have to know, I have to deliver some money.
I'll deliver it, all right?
You'll deliver it, sure. Don't be ridiculous. Albert, please. Please.
Now, just listen to me. As a G, I can move in and out of Berlin a lot easier than you can and without suspicion, right?
Have you forgotten Neuendorf?
No, I have not forgotten Neuendorf. Believe me, he's ever in my thoughts.
Hello?
Hedwig? Hey, it's good to hear your voice.
Well, should be. You haven't heard it in ages. Why haven't you called?
Well, it's complicated. Listen, I'll be in Berlin tonight, and I'd love to see you, if you let me.
Well, I shouldn't.
Oh, I like your style, Neuendorf. It's very cloak and dagger.
I needed new shirts. What do you think?
Not for you. Too frivolous.
So you go to Berlin tonight?
How did you know that?
Why Berlin? Why tonight?
Well, don't you know the answer to that, too? All right, it's a business trip, and Hedwig's a bonus. Look, since you shut me down, I've been living on my savings. You know, it's running low. Guy in Berlin owes me for a load of tires, so...
That's much more like it. Reinforces my assessment of human nature. Meanwhile, what about Fräulein Warner?
Well, what about her? All right, she's pretty closed-mouthed, you know. Well, I know she attended a meeting with Zo Daimler and Egan Hoops a couple of nights ago. I didn't get any other names.
You must do better for me, Billy. Much better.
Well, which do you prefer, Chinese water torture or thumb screws?
I want to know who's hiding Ernst Schiller and Manfred Leiting. I want to know who's supplying Morgan Roth with funds, with arms. Names, Abbott. Lots of names. How you accomplish this is your affair. Just do it.
I think maybe this is what you're looking for, Neuendorf. It picks up the color of your heart.
I want to talk to someone.
About what?
There is a man living in my building. I think he is the one that shot the policeman, the student.
Yeah, no, this looks weird, Hedwig. I'll be back in an hour and explain everything, okay? Look, just do me a favor. Don't open the door for anybody while I'm gone, okay?
Mm-hmm.